Welcome back everyone to another lecture in our Maintenance and Reliability course. In this lecture, we are going to learn about corrective maintenance. In the first chapter, we learned what do we mean by maintenance, and we learned that maintenance started as a form of repair, which was limited to fixing current failures. So the first type of maintenance we are going to learn about is corrective maintenance, and it is the maintenance that is carried out here in this zone, highlighted in red, after the function failure or the breakdown of the equipment has already occurred, which means stop of production, and the purpose of the maintenance is to restore the condition of the equipment to its working condition. So can we just rely on corrective maintenance? I mean, can we just wait for our equipment to fail and then we repair them? Of course not. And this is because corrective maintenance has many negatives. First is that unexpected failures could be a huge safety hazard to people and to the environment. Those failures could be in a form of explosion, leakage, excessive heat, fire, so all of those unexpected failures are very serious hazards. Also, unexpected failures lead to unscheduled downtime of the equipment, which means stopping production if the failure is on a critical equipment, which will lead to loss in revenue, which could have a very negative effect on the business feasibility of the organization. In addition to that, in order to allocate manpower immediately on emergency basis to repair the equipment, this is going to be more costly than planned maintenance tasks. And finally, we will face the risk of non-availability of the required spare parts due to lack of knowledge about the nature of the failure. And some of the spare parts could be long lead items, which means they can't be available immediately, which means even longer downtime. All of those reasons make the corrective maintenance the least favorable type of maintenance, and our aim in maintenance is to reduce the percentage of the corrective maintenance to be as low as possible. And normally, it is not acceptable for any organization to have higher than 20% of the maintenance tasks as corrective maintenance. Due to all of the previous negatives of corrective maintenance, a revolution in maintenance world had to happen to come up with more effective methods to maintain the equipment. The next level of maintenance was preventive maintenance, which is a time-based maintenance, which means we started to carry out maintenance tasks on a fixed time intervals, regardless of the condition of the equipment, and this is to decrease the risk of sudden failures. After preventive maintenance, we had a next level of maintenance, which is predictive maintenance, and instead of being time-based, it is a condition-based maintenance, which started taking into consideration the condition of the assets. Next level we come up with is what we call proactive maintenance or reliability-centered maintenance, and it started taking into consideration the risk of each equipment. In our next few lectures, we will learn more in details about each one of those types. Despite all of the previous negatives in corrective maintenance, however, still there are some cases where we intentionally rely on corrective maintenance, such as the following. Assets that are not maintainable, which are not expected to wear out, such as concrete foundations of building or interior steel structure of high-rise building. Disposable assets, which are generally inexpensive or single-use assets or expected to be disposed based on age or condition. Assets with small financial value, which means it will be cheaper to wait till they fail and replace them, instead of spending money in their maintenance. Non-critical assets, which are the assets that have no effect on the overall production process and could be replaced or repaired only when it is needed to. Also, assets that are not subject to tear and wear, because in this case, time-based maintenance would be irrelevant. And finally, assets that are subject to technological obsolescence, and those are the assets that are expected to be outdated in short term due to new technologies which will enforce replacing them anyway. For example, having a time-based maintenance and a condition-based maintenance on an asset such as cell phone or a laptop would be a waste of money, because it is expected that those items will be outdated in very short term, and we will be forced to replace them with newer models anyway. In all of those cases, we rely on technique that is called run to fail, which simply means that we will not be involved in any kind of maintenance till that asset faces a failure. Only then we start the maintenance process, either by repair or replacement. So this is it for our lecture today. In our next lecture, we will start learning about our second type of maintenance, which is preventive maintenance. So see you in our next lecture. Thank you.